Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Rocky Mountain Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We are excited that you're here. We have a great group of colleges and presenters lined up for you this evening. So excited to share some information that will hopefully help with your college search process. So before we get started, just a few housekeeping announcements from me. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay though. If for some reason you can't or that changes, just send us a message using the Q&A button on your Zoom toolbar, and we'll be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that is really your best way to engage with our presenters this afternoon and evening. So as you have questions, feel free to submit those at any time using that Q&A button, starting now, before they present, while they're presenting, or after they're done presenting. We will be monitoring those questions throughout the whole session and are happy to respond to those as they come in. Don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered this evening, so be sure to check that StriveScan website where you signed up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all the session recordings will be available at that same StriveScan website within about a week or so. So before I turn it over, I want to show you what our schedule looks like this evening. So we are at the top right-hand corner, session A5. We are going to hear from Whitworth University, St. Leo University, St. Olaf College, Bard College at Simon's Rock, Union College, and Bates College. That's our order. And so with that, I will turn it over to Sean with Whitworth University.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyler. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, fantastic. Well, I hope everyone can see that okay. My name is Sean Tyson with Whitworth University. I'm going to put myself on the clock. We got 6 minutes here. But yeah, we're Whitworth University up in Spokane, Washington, a small private Christian liberal arts university. You can scan that QR code if you do want more direct contact with us after this, and I'll show it again at the end if you want more information. So something really just exciting, and hopefully we won't have to keep showing slides like this, but Whitworth, we do plan to go back to full in-person safe residential learning this fall. And then again, of course, moving forward, that's the goal and the plan for everybody, fingers crossed, right? But we're really excited to share that. And something too, we know it's been hard for a lot of schools throughout this year and just in colleges in general, but we are really proud to say we are growing and thriving as a university and finding a lot of success for our students here on campus, new programs, new buildings and facilities, and just always ways to continue to build upon the education that we're offering. And if you see construction on a college campus, usually a good sign, and feels like we have it all the time, which is great. We're definitely on the smaller end of schools. You're going to see tons of numbers like this on this webinar and other college fairs and all over the place. But it just means we're small. We're going to be that small, tight-knit, personalized community atmosphere where professors know you and you know them by their first names, and you grab coffee with them in the coffee shop. And that tight-knit, small community, small class size is what you'll get here at Whitworth. And you can see with the numbers on the screen. We want you to be successful. Of course, everyone wants you to be successful. That's no secret. But as you can see, our students are performing at a high level, finding ways to not only get students to Whitworth, but keep you at Whitworth and help you succeed. That could be roadblocks with financial aid or academics or mental social challenges that you might face in college, but we want to help you get through those to graduation. 97% of our students graduated in 4 years, which we're really excited to get students through Whitworth on time. So the less you're in college, the less you're spending on college, right, and getting into the workforce or graduate school earlier. And speaking of that, 95% of our students are in graduate school or service or a job within 6 to 9 months of graduation. So Whitworth grads are successful, and we're following through on our promise to get you to that next step in life. A little bit about our incoming class profile, and this is last year's class, but a couple things. This is the middle 50%, and so you can tell our students are academically driven. Some things to point out: we do accept weighted GPAs here at Whitworth, so if your school already does that, great. If they don't, great. We will automatically weight your GPA on a 4.5 scale, looking at AP, IB, or honors classes, and then we do super score if you decide to send in test scores, but we are also test optional. There's nothing you need to do in replace of those scores here at Whitworth. But also like to point out, we've been test optional for about 14 years now. So it's something that our office is really used to evaluating applications and students on GPA and test score, but also everything else on your application, your essay and your extracurriculars and your whole story as a student, which we love to read. A lot of majors and programs, over 100. Anything with the BA, BS, BBA at the end is a major. URL in the bottom will help you find more information quickly, whitworth.edu/majors. But some popular ones here on campus: health science, biology, business, education, psychology. Those are some of the more popular ones, but really you can't go wrong because there's some departments that are small but very mighty and have some impressive graduates and professors in that area. For student athletes on the call, we are D3 school up here in the Northwest, and one of the best D3 schools here on the West Coast, to be honest. You can see for the last 12 years, we have won our conference's all sports trophy, so offering 20 varsity sports. So if you're looking to play sports in a D3 environment, where we put the student in front of the athlete, is very serious here at Whitworth, but you can also see that our students are performing very high level on the field as well. Spokane, Washington, if you haven't been, I'd encourage you to come and to join us here on campus for a visit. We are the second, third largest city in the state of Washington. We're on the east side of the state, almost to Idaho. And so we're in the inland Northwest, if you will. We're not on the west side by like Seattle, Tacoma, that side of the state. So I always joke, we're the non-rainy part of Washington state. We get 4 seasons, a lot of great outdoor recreation here, but also not the middle of nowhere. We have a large population, kind of mid to large size city for students to utilize, and a lot of great resources for internships, doing research here in the city, getting jobs, whatever that looks like. Spokane can provide a lot of resources, so definitely a hidden gem. Come visit if you haven't already. App documents, pretty simple. Free online application through Common App or through the Whitworth app. Once we get that and your high school transcript, we accept unofficial ones in the process. We'll get back to you within about 3 weeks. Your test scores are optional and your recommendations optional. Again, I'm running out of time here, so I'll keep this simple. We have early action deadlines, and apply by November 15th, and you will be in the group that gets earlier financial aid offers. But again, you have all the way until March. Our application opens in August, so you have plenty of time to get through those processes. Financial aid, about 100% of our students, 100% do receive scholarship of some kind. And on average $35,000 in scholarships and grants. So I will go here. You can see our admissions at whitworth.edu email address if you need any information, and then there's a QR code to scan. So thanks, Tyler. Back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Okay, next up, we are going to St. Leo University.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyler. Hi, everyone. My name is Connor Schaefer. I'm a Senior Assistant Director here at St. Leo University, which is located in Tampa Bay, Florida. So the complete opposite side of the country and one of the farthest states away from Washington State. But we would love to have you in the Sunshine State, where we do have that nice weather all year round. So like I said, my name is Connor Schaefer. I'm also a proud alumni of St. Leo University from the Northeast. So if you are looking to go out of state for college, I completely understand what it's like to go over 1,000 miles away from home. I studied education for my undergraduate at St. Leo and stayed for my master's as well. If you do have any lingering questions today from this presentation, feel free to reach out to me by email or by phone. Those are listed at the bottom of your screen. Also, remember to ask any questions in the Q&A today. I would love to answer those for you. So what is St. Leo University all about? St. Leo was established in 1889, and we're actually the oldest Catholic institution in the state of Florida. We're the second largest Catholic institution in the country, serving over 20,000 students worldwide. Now, if you visit campus tomorrow in Tampa Bay, you're going to say, Connor, I do not see 20,000 students on our university campus in Tampa Bay. And you're right. So here on main campus, we have roughly about 3,000 undergraduate students from over 100 countries and 44 different states. What's pretty cool with our structure is we do have 15 different educational centers throughout the United States and also online degree programs as well. So here on main campus, you're going to have a small classroom size, about 14-to-1 student faculty ratio. But at the end of the day, you're still receiving some of the resources and amenities you'll get at a larger institution. We are currently ranked number 4 in the South for best value, so you know you're going to get a great education out of your investment. It's a very simple application process here at St. Leo. We are on the common application, but you can also apply for free through our website. St. Leo is test optional. We've been test optional. So if there are any freshmen, sophomores, or juniors watching this presentation today, do not worry. St. Leo will still be test optional when you decide to apply. We do have over 50 different academic programs to choose from. Some of our popular majors include our business programs, our computer science, education, and biologies and sports business. We're known around the country for criminal justice, so that's definitely our top major here at University campus. We do also have honors programs and then accelerated degree programs, which includes our 3+1 programs where you can get a bachelor's degree at St. Leo for 3 years and then stay an additional year to get your master's. But we also have a 3+3 pathway to law school where we have partnerships with Barry University down in Miami and Florida State University up in Tallahassee. St. Leo is thriving when it comes to the medical field. Besides our pre-medical programs, we did just add this past year our health education and health promotions. And this coming fall, we're super excited to announce we will be starting our BS in nursing as well. If you do have any friends or family that are worried about sending you over 1,000 miles away from home for college in Florida, do not worry. St. Leo is the safest campus in the state of Florida and 7th in the nation. Campus life, I always said, if you're bored on campus, it's truly just because you're not taking advantage of what the university has to offer. So we do offer daily mass and a strong campus ministry for students that want to embrace their faith, but only about 50% of our student population is actually Catholic. The other percent is either not affiliated with the religion or they choose to follow a different religion as well. So we're welcoming to all students, even though we are a Catholic institution. We do have over 22 NCAA Division II athletic teams. So we are a part of the Sunshine State Conference, which we like to call as the Conference of Champions. So it's definitely an exciting conference to be a part of. Definitely make sure to fill out a recruiter form on our website if you're interested in being a student athlete. We have over 70 different clubs and organizations that include things like Greek life, esports, intramurals, and the list goes on and on. One thing I loved about St. Leo was the off-campus trips the university sponsors. So this could be small trips to Walmart or the local shopping centers, but also we like to bring our students to places like Disney World, Universal. If you're into professional sports, Tampa is definitely an area to enjoy when it comes to that, especially this year. So we bring our students to see the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are actually the exclusive educational partner to who won the Super Bowl this year. So like I said, it's definitely an exciting time to be in Tampa Bay. We are a residential campus, so we have over 14 different residential halls to choose from. Some of our upperclassmen apartment buildings was actually featured as some of the top 10 nicest dorms in the nation. So that's exciting as well. It's not St. Leo if there's not something new occurring on campus. So this past year, we did build our Benedict's Coffee House that serves Starbucks products. And this coming fall, we're super excited to announce we will be opening our brand new wellness center, which one of the most recently released photos you can see at the bottom right side of your screen. So this facility will open in October. So if you already thought you're going to a resort for college, this facility will make it feel even more so. A fun fact about this building, the infinity pool you see in the photo will actually be the largest infinity pool at a university in the state of Florida. So we're really excited for that to open this coming year. Just to give you an idea of our location on the right side of your screen, we are 30 minutes north from downtown Tampa and about an hour west of Orlando. So you know you're going to hit a great city no matter which direction you go. Again, here is my contact information if you have any lingering questions from this presentation today. St. Leo is open for tours. We do have a virtual tour on our website, and we also will be fully open this coming fall. So thank you again for learning about St. Leo University, which is located in Tampa Bay, Florida, and I hope you all have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you, Connor. Okay, next up, we are going to St. Olaf College.
Great. Hi, everybody. So like you heard, my name is Shannon Crone, and I am one of the Assistant Deans of Admissions at St. Olaf College. So we are going to yet another part of the country, right up in the Midwest in Northfield, Minnesota. So Northfield within the state of Minnesota is located about 45 minutes south of the Twin Cities. So if you're flying in from out of state, that is where the major airport is. So it's a pretty, I would say, easy, quick drive down to Northfield. We also share the town with Carleton College, which is another great small liberal arts college. So there you've got, I would say, some fun elements like sports rivalries, lots of things going on in the town that are catered to students. But I would say the majority of the time that students are spending is on campus. And that's really where you're going to find the tight-knit sense of community that is so central to the St. Olaf experience. So we have 3,000 students total on our campus. And as I said, community is really important to us. This is a little bit about who is a part of our community right now. And really, I would say our big focus at the moment is on inclusion. So St. Olaf has changed a lot over the last several years. We're getting more diverse in a variety of ways. And we want to be striving to be even more inclusive than we are. And we are looking for students who really want to actively be a part of that, regardless of their background. So at St. Olaf, students come to do a whole variety of things. We are a liberal arts college, which similar to the other colleges on this call means that you can take advantage of a lot of different programs and you don't necessarily just have to pick one thing. So what you see highlighted here is some of the kind of main programs at St. Olaf, or some of the ones that are most popular, but it is definitely not an exhaustive list. And pretty much with all of the things, you can combine them. So at St. Olaf, health sciences are really popular. STEM in general is popular. About 40% of our students major in a math or science, with a lot of them going pre-med or pre-dentistry, nursing. But if you are doing that, you can also be in the choir, or you can study abroad, or double major in history or theater. So if you have a lot of different interests, I think liberal arts can be a really good place to find a way to build them all in. Music is another thing that's very popular, both for majors and non-majors, and really that goes for the fine arts across the board. So we're nationally accredited in all 4 areas of the fine arts: music, dance, theater, and studio art. And I think that there's a way to be involved in at a lot of different levels, but it's really a good place if you want a major level experience as a non-major, where you can keep growing and be really actively involved in that throughout college. The last thing I'll mention on this side is study abroad. It's very popular at St. Olaf. We send the highest percentage of our population abroad of any liberal arts college in the country. And there are many different programs to choose from. So part of the reason why study abroad is so possible for so many students is we have semester-long programs, but we also have a 4-1-4 academic calendar. So that means we have a 1-month term over January, and that's a really popular time to study abroad in addition to the semesters. There are tons of programs, but some of the ones that come to mind are our global semester, where you go to 6 countries in 6 months. Some of those J-term programs that I mentioned are the Peruvian medical experience. We have theater in London, an education program in Hawaii. So a lot of different options, and you can definitely study abroad outside your major. So if, again, you're looking for a way to build in another interest, you can do that with study abroad. Like I said, community is very important. I think it is central to the classroom experiences that we just discussed. You're definitely going to get small class sizes, professors who want to be really active mentors for you. So that's present in academics, but also very much translates to outside of the classroom. And I think students at St. Olaf want to be really active in these other parts of college as well. So they tend to be really involved in extracurricular activities. We have a ton of different student organizations that span a wide variety of areas. And I think they also want balance in that they want their social life to be a big part of their experience. I'm an alum of the college, and I know this was definitely true for me. I really appreciated how, because everybody lives on campus, your social life is able to be really fluid. So if you're walking to class, studying in the library, eating a meal in the cafeteria, there's just going to be lots of ways built in to connect, not only with your close friends, but I think the big distinguisher here is with people that you meet in a variety of ways. Maybe somebody you had one class with freshman year, or you did a study abroad program with, or from an activity. I think your network can feel really big in this sort of tight-knit community. We have students from all over the country, so there is a lot going on campus. Even for students from Minnesota, I think this is a place where it's a great fit for students who don't necessarily want to go home on the weekends. I'm from the Twin Cities, and I probably went home on a weekend, like I can count the number of times on one hand during my 4 years. So definitely a really intentional spot where students want to be really engaged with each other. Just to wrap up here, there is a little bit of financial aid and admissions information. Some of the big things that I would highlight are we offer both merit scholarships for academics, service, as well as the fine arts. And we're also an institution that meets 100% of demonstrated need. So we really do want it to be affordable to all students. And then you can also see our admissions deadlines there. I also would highlight that we are going to continue to be test optional last year. This past year was our first year, but it was a permanent decision. It's been going great and definitely excited to continue that. Right now, we're only offering in-person tours for admitted students, but we do expect that to probably change this summer. So definitely keep an eye out for that. All right, thank you all so much. It's been great to talk to you again. My name is Shannon. I'll put my email in the chat.
Awesome, thank you, Shannon. Okay, next up, we are going to Bard College at Simon's Rock.
Yes. Give me a second. Here, I'll start that presentation. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Campbell. I'm an admissions counselor here at Bard College at Simon's Rock, which if you'll allow us to re-enter that teleportation machine, we're coming back to Massachusetts in a town called Great Barrington, relatively close to Albany, New York. It's like 2 hours away from Boston and an hour away from the city. So Great Barrington was started in 1966 by Elizabeth Blodgett Hall, which is a woman who was really interested in education, but found that many of her students told her that there were no quite huge differences between the latter years of high school and the first few years of college. So she had the idea to bridge the two and create what we call an early college. So the beauty of Simon's Rock is you can actually start midway through high school. So we're called an early college because if you are the type of student that is a perfect fit, you feel like the classes haven't been as challenging lately and you feel like you're a bit more advanced and you'd like to get started on your college journey, we are the school for you. But we're relatively new. This idea is also relatively new. So you do not need a high school diploma to start. You can apply and we'll work with your school. And essentially what we do is we allow for that curiosity, that hunger for knowledge to be fulfilled by providing you, such as many of the other schools that my colleagues have said, the liberal arts education, right? So the small class size, the first name basis with your teachers and professors, and allow you to get comfortable getting acquainted to the college journey and the college experience. As I say, we're relatively new. We only have about 35 plus academic concentrations, but they are the most requested and the most wanted. And so I'm pretty sure if you were to, embark in this journey, you would find something for you. But like I said, Great Barrington, we are relatively smaller than these small schools that I've presented here. We are in the college, we have about 400 students. We're growing each year, obviously. So this number will grow next year and so on and so forth. But because we are a relatively new institution, the numbers are still small, so we're working on that. We pride ourselves on being an institution that welcomes students that, yes, are curious, engaged, and are seeking this challenge, right? Are ready for the next step. But we are also very much so about social justice, equality, and desire. We're very open. We want for students to feel like this is a safe campus. We know of many situations going around in the country where it might not be the safest place, it might not be the most productive area for you to grow, academically speaking and individually speaking. So we pride ourselves in being an institution that will allow you to grow in that aspect. We do provide many different departments that can help with mental health and social and inclusion, etc. Because ultimately we believe that my mind at ease is a mind that learns the best. So moving forward, last year or for the fall semester of 2020, we had zero COVID instances on campus, and we were very happy for that. And we were trying to reach those numbers again. As you can see, many students and professors, uh, we have classes outdoors and etc. But we find ways to keep distance, keep our masks on, and still be that close, tight knit community that makes Simon's Rock, that makes what the sort of space and institution that we are. Um, and so going into admissions and financial aid, we are rolling admissions. So if you were to apply at least up until June 1st, you still be very much considered and very much in the run. But we do provide a holistic application view, which means that although we are test optional, grades, recommendations, nothing is weighted more than anything else. As a matter of fact, the interview itself, the 30-minute session where we get to knowing you, counts as much as anything else. We really want to have an approach where we get to knowing you, and we don't just, base admit or deny. It's based on grades and letters. Um, but we are, like I said, still accepting applications for the fall of 2021. As stated before, we also do provide both need-based and merit-based scholarships. If you are a student that is very engaged, very into who you want to become, your work, your after-school activities, club sports, we will look at that. We will give it the merit that it needs. And 80% of our students are on financial aid, so I highly recommend applying for it going forward. But with that being said, I will leave the email and the website to contacting us. And thank you so much, Tyler.
Awesome. Thank you, Campbell. Okay, next up, we are going to Union College.
Hi, everyone. All right, so as we get started here today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Union College. My name is Rachel McNeil. I'm an assistant dean of admissions at Union and class of 2018. So excited to tell you a little bit about my experience as a Union graduate and current employee. So at Union, we are located in Schenectady, New York, so just outside the capital region of New York State, about 3 hours north of New York City and about 3 hours west of Boston. We're a small liberal arts college and we have 2,200 students on campus. So it's a really nice, tight-knit campus community with lots of great academic opportunities. In terms of the academic culture, we really do focus on the integration. I think some of my colleagues earlier were talking a little bit about how flexible curriculum can be and being able to major in one thing, minor in something else. It's very much the norm at Union. About half of our students study STEM and about half humanities, social sciences, and the arts. And as you can see this number right here, 75% of students are studying more than one thing. So there's many people taking advantage of these additional opportunities. We have great small class sizes, as you can see our averages here, and I think all of this helps our students figure out what they want to study. They can come in undecided or with a particular interest in mind and still able to dive right in and have a great academic experience. Part of this comes with our focus on immersive experiences. So think about study abroad, internships, or even research. And at Union, we have something called the trimester system. So this is a little bit different from what you might see at a typical semester school. Instead of having 2 15-week semesters, Union has 3 10-week trimesters. So we have a little bit more flexibility with when students are taking specific classes, and it allows students to be able to go abroad, to meet with their faculty advisors more often during the year, and take advantage of programs like research and internships, both during the academic year and outside of it. I know for me personally, research was a huge deal for my experience. I was really undecided, still figuring out what I wanted to study, but had a great connection with a psychology professor who encouraged me to get involved in some of her research. And it ended up being a wonderful experience getting to do hands-on work and incorporate some of my other academic interests as well. And so you see students come in doing research, doing all 4 years of their experience if they're interested in doing that. And it helps prepare them for that life after graduation, able to jump into a field after they graduate from Union with some of that hands-on experience already. And so the same would happen with our study abroad and internship programs. I mentioned a little bit about the faculty at Union. I will say that they are some of the best people that I've met are the faculty. They are world-renowned, doing cutting-edge research in their fields, and they've chosen Union in the same way that our students have. So when you get to Union, you can expect to connect with faculty who are just as excited to be there as you are and are engaged with the material and looking to connect with you as an undergraduate student. We're all undergrad, so you are getting the attention in the classrooms and able to make those connections and mentorship opportunities. I know for me personally, the faculty connections that I made were a huge reason that I was successful at Union and able to launch into the next phase of my life after graduation with a great support network. A little bit about the social atmosphere at Union. We're a residential campus. About 92% of students live on campus all 4 years. So they're taking advantage of all of the great things we have going on campus. There's such a variety that every student can find their niche. I know for me personally, I've tried lots of different things, and you find that that's common too. I find that Union is a good place for people who have their heads in multiple different spaces, who are looking for an opportunity to try something new and also dive deeper into something they already love. Great Union students are those who are passionate and involved and looking to be part of this great community. This is a little bit about where our students go after they graduate from Union. As you can see, it's a mix of full-time jobs, graduate or professional schools, and then fellowships, military, and travel. But I think at the end of the day, having a holistic liberal arts experience with those immersive experiences and fantastic mentorship all support our students to be able to jump into the next phase of their life with great knowledge, confidence, and wonderful communication skills. Lastly, just a little bit about admissions and financial aid at Union. There's several ways to apply to Union. We have several rounds of application, but if you're interested in learning more, you can just scan that little QR code, fill out a quick form for me, and I'm happy to touch base with you. We are test optional, have been for a long time, going to keep up with that after COVID as well. And we're holistic reviews, so we look at lots of pieces of the puzzle to get a sense of our candidates for Union College. We are also, we offer both need-based aid and merit-based scholarship. So you have lots of opportunities to be able to fund your Union experience. And I appreciate this because it allows students from all over the world to be able to come to Union. And there's so many great opportunities, so keep an eye out for all of that good stuff. And that's what I have for you today. I thank you all so much for being here and for letting me join you today.
Awesome, thanks, Rachel. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we are going over to Bates College.
All right, well, good evening, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tyler Lucier, and I serve as one of the Associate Deans of Admission for Bates College in Lewiston, Maine. So let me pull up my screen here so I can share with you a little bit more information about Bates. But again, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know, Bates is a small private liberal arts college located in Lewiston, Maine. For those of you who may not know where Lewiston, Maine is, we're just a little over 2.5 hours north of Boston. We're located in Lewiston, which is the second largest city in the state of Maine. I will say take that with a grain of salt for folks that may be used to a larger metropolitan area. Lewiston has about 60 to 65,000 residents in our community, and we're just a little over 40 minutes north of the capital, which is Portland, Maine. So you still get a great small city, but still for many of you may feel like small town New England in a lot of ways. So here you can see a great aerial shot of campus, which will give you a sense of our community. We are almost entirely residential. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years. We have about 2,000 total students. We are right in the middle of the city of Lewiston. So we're flanked by 2 large regional hospitals, Central Maine Medical Center and St. Mary's Regional Medical Center. We're about a 10-minute walk to downtown Lewiston. So if you want to grab a bite to eat, grab a cup of coffee, you certainly have all those opportunities in a community that is not gated in, but very much a part of the larger Lewiston community. Something that's really important to know about Bates is really something that started with our founding. Bates has been around since 1855. And since our founding, we have welcomed women and students of color to learn here at Bates College. And that's something that's really important to us, right? As we're thinking about building and continuing to build an inclusive community to be the first coeducational institution in the Northeast is something that we're really proud of, but also comes with a heavy weight to continue that work and to continue to push the conversation. So this here just highlights our mission statement. But for those of you that may be unsure about what you want to study or trying to figure out what that next step may be, Bates is an incredibly open-minded place. And so for those of you unsure of your academic pursuits, at an institution like Bates, you're not required to declare your major till second term of your sophomore year, which may be a little common. But also you can see we have 37 majors and 26 minors to choose from, and also 75 what we call general education concentrations, or GEC for short. These are opportunities where you may have what we kind of look at as a mini minor. It's an opportunity to talk or to learn in subjects like the human body. It could be about Eastern European film. But what's great about this is that each GEC is comprised of 4 classes, and all 4 classes have to be in a different academic major. And so it's very interdisciplinary, gives you the opportunity to explore, and maybe a little bit different than maybe some of the more traditional majors and minors that you may be seeing offered. With a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, you have a great opportunity to know your faculty on a first name basis. Very limited kind of core requirements, so to speak. There are a few real key areas that we want to push you in as we think about writing, and then within our modes of inquiry, but it's not going to be a core curriculum where, all 2,000 students are going to have to take the same 10 courses or so. With 3 different ways to study abroad, there's opportunities that nearly 2/3 of our students take advantage of. There's great opportunities for semester programs, maybe just a course abroad, or maybe even if you wanted to do a year abroad. One of the most important pieces is any of the programs that we offer have an articulation agreement so you know your credits are going to transfer back with you. But also if you're on financial aid, that aid will travel with you as well. And so really the 2 biggest concerns that we regularly hear, credits and cost. We try to take care of those right out of the gate so you don't have anything to worry about. And then also one thing that's really important to understanding Bates is this idea of community engaged learning. And what I mean by that is really taking what you study in the classroom and finding the real world application of that content. Every semester, about a half of our student body will be taking courses that require community engaged learning as a part of the curriculum. And so for that student taking an economics course, you might actually be putting your theory to practice and helping a local business. For the student looking at public health, you might be going to one of the local hospitals and trying to get a better understanding how healthcare policy is being impacted in our community. Education students required to put 30 hours in the classroom every semester. But also from the social side of things, every club and organization, every athletic team has to have a community liaison. And so it's something that's really important that if you come to an institution like Bates, you're going to find ways to really impact community change. And Bates as an institution, again, has been recognized as a top 20 institution in the nation for this type of work. But as we think about your career opportunities, we also want to dig deeper. And so what we've really tried to redevelop over the last 5 or 6 years is how we approach career readiness. And what this has ultimately led to is the development of the Center for Purposeful Work, an entire department focused on really ensuring that they align who you are as an individual and as a person with an ultimate career opportunity. And so we've added a lot of institutional layers over the last couple of years. Things like funding for unpaid internships, up to $4,000 per internship, and you can do that multiple times. An enhanced job shadowing network, great graduate school advising opportunities, wonderful fellowship opportunities. Bates was recognized as a top producer of Fulbright Fellows in the nation. It was actually #1 for liberal arts colleges last year. Practitioner taught courses and also purposeful work infusion courses, where we invite experts from the field to come and teach you the ins and outs of their industry. And even the How to Adult series, for those of you that are getting ready to graduate high school, getting ready to graduate college is another big step. And so how do you buy your first home? What does it mean to be fiscally responsible as an adult after college? So trying to give you the tools to be successful. And the numbers have shown us that this program has really worked. 99% of our students have been settled within 6 months of graduating. Acceptance rate to medical school and law school have been around 90% over the last couple of cycles. So students are really set up for success and ready for that next step as they get ready to leave Bates. And certainly an incredibly open-hearted and friendly campus. So some of the highlights over the last few years, really important: Bates reaching carbon neutrality just a year ago, and actually doing so with the lowest purchasing of carbon offsets, being test optional for almost 40 years. Again, all of our clubs and organizations being open to all students. And Bates has actually never had Greek life on campus, never had fraternities or sororities, which we think is important to who we are as an institution. Having one dining hall, which was actually voted on by the students years ago when that was built. And again, to kind of reiterate, putting over 80,000 hours into the community for community-based work. So here's an example of some of our students who were involved in a protest in Portland. Our students installing our solar panels at our Morse Mountain Conservation Science Center, which is about 500 acres of land right on the coast of Maine. So for students interested in environmental studies research, opportunities with about 31 varsity athletic teams, mostly at the Division III athletic level in the NESCAC conference, an incredible performing arts program. And also here, you can see that we have a wonderful tradition that we call puddle jump, where if you're brave enough, students jump into the freezing cold waters in Maine in the wintertime. So some fun traditions there. And then Baxter State Park. But our holistic review process, we do meet 100% of demonstrated need and award about $34 million annually. So certainly a lot to unpack. I'll share our contact information here at the end and happy to answer any questions.
Hey, Tyler, I'm going to have to go ahead and move on to the next slide, but if you want to just drop that in the chat, they'll be able to see that there. So thank you, Tyler. We have a few minutes left, so I want to ask a few last questions here at the end. So if all of our presenters want to join me back on screen, I'm going to throw our first question up here. And that first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So take about 20 or 30 seconds or so, and we'll go in the same order we started with, which I believe is Whitworth to kick things off.
Yes, advice I would give somebody, sorry, I missed that. It fell off the screen.
I'm sorry, yes, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Yeah, have someone proofread your essay. It's pretty easy to ask somebody to do that, and it's pretty tragic when we see an essay that's clearly hasn't been proofed. So that's one of my pretty basic examples.
I would definitely say keep an open mind throughout the search process, especially all these institutions being a little bit further away from home. If you asked senior year Connor from New Jersey if I was going to Florida for college, I would have said heck no. So definitely keep an open mind when you're searching for colleges you might be interested in.
Yeah, I'm just totally going to piggyback off of that. I think it's so important to keep an open mind in terms of location, size, type of school. And I also would just say, I think it is not a bad thing to go in undecided. There's so much, I think, out there to explore in college, and being ready to embrace that, I think you can really just make the most of it.
Can anyone? Okay, I'll just ask. I think that knowing what you want to do is great, right? But going to a school that has more to offer, where you can, try different things, is even better, right? So knowing what major you want to major in, that's amazing. But sometimes that can change, or sometimes you might want to double major. So keep your options open at all times.
My advice is pretty simple. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. There's a lot of noise and a lot of opinions in this process, and just take a deep breath and know that it's going to be okay, and you'll choose a wonderful college.
My point piggybacks right off of that. I was actually going to say block out the noise. So Rachel, you stole it. But I do think it's important. There are thousands of colleges out there. Try not to get caught in US News and World Report and all of the rankings and the numbers that are thrown your way, and really try to find a place based on really what you want to get out of the experience. And so if you can try to find fit as best you can, it'll make the college experience that much better for yourself. So good luck with that.
Awesome. Thank you all for sharing great advice. Students, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are excited that you were here and hopefully learned some helpful information to help you along your college search journey. And I know all of these reps would be happy to help you throughout that process. As you have questions, feel free to reach out to them. So thank you for joining us. When you do close the Zoom window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind completing that for us, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Also, don't forget, there are more sessions right after this. So sign up on that StrideScan website for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as the recordings will be posted there within about a week or so as well. So thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.